you ready? Joy, are you ready? Are you ready? Hey. Good afternoon. Welcome to Yoga with Joyful. I'm going to wait a couple minutes to actually get started. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Please, if I invite you to do something that your body doesn't want to do, please don't do it. You need to be responsible about that. Today's focus is on upper thoracic mobility, so the upper rib cage, shoulder girdle area. This is Yoga with Joyful, and this is Joyful. She's clearly ready to begin. All of our movements are done slowly with breath. And so you want to be really mindful of how each movement is impacting you and how it feels. Our goal today, as every day, is that we feel better when we get up off our mat than we did getting down to the mat. So we'll wait just a couple minutes here. We don't need any props today. I have a foam pad that I'm sitting on. If you'd like to sit on a towel, that's fine. Or you don't need anything. So we'll go ahead and get started. Find a comfortable seated position, whatever that means to you. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, and begin to be aware of how your body feels right now. Notice the grounding through your seat bones. Allow your belly to be soft. Breath is easy. Notice your shoulder girdle. We're going to be looking a lot with the upper back and shoulder girdle today. So notice how you feel at the beginning of your practice. Allowing the hips to soften. Thighs come down towards the mat. And if they don't reach the mat, that's fine too. That's not a problem. We're not trying to match some ideal. We're just trying to feel better when we get up off our mat than we did getting down to the mat. So part of this initial opening is just to notice how we feel when we start. So open your eyes, interlace your fingers, palms away, arms overhead. So here right away, we start to open the shoulder girdle. Notice how you feel. Just waving side to side, allowing that opposite side shoulder blade to move on your back, allowing that opposite side body, rib cage to begin to open, allowing that opposite hip to soften. Just noticing how you feel, just allowing things to get a little bit softer. There's no urgency here. We're not in any hurry. Release your fingers, interlace your fingers behind you, shoulder blades together in the back, palms away from the body, looking up, letting the shoulder blades move towards each other. Collarbones are long, breath is easy, belly is soft. Heart is open. And release your hands, right hand down, left arm up overhead. Gaze is underneath that left arm, opening that left side body, letting that left shoulder blade move on your back, opening the left outer hip area, softening into that. And release, left hand down, right arm up. Feeling that right shoulder blade moving on your back, opening in the right hip, right side body. feeling that shoulder blade moving on your back. And release. Left hand to the right thigh. Right hand behind you as a kickstand. Allowing the twist to originate inside your pelvis. Come up through the low back. Through the lower rib cage. Through the upper rib cage. And completing by the neck. The neck is not included in the twist. And here, feel that right shoulder blade coming towards the midline of the body. Left shoulder blade is coming away from the midline of the body. So here we are already looking at mobility in the upper thoracic area. And we're going to spend a couple extra breaths here because this is actually an important stretch. So I'm more interested in what's happening with the two shoulder blades than I am about the twist itself. I'm using the twist as a way to open and soften the upper thoracic area. So really pushing down with that right hand to help increase the upper thoracic twist, pulling a little bit with that left hand. Not trying to put the twist into the low back. Low back should be comfortable here, but really feeling what happens in the upper back. That's really what I'm focused on today. And then inhale, release, slowly, because that's a pretty powerful little twist. Left hand behind you, right hand to the left knee, same twist, other direction. And notice that one side is always easier, and that means one side is always harder. Very normal. So here the right shoulder blade comes away from the midline of the body, left shoulder blade comes towards the midline of the body, and you can allow your two hands to increase those two actions. So the right hand is pulling on the thigh, bringing that right shoulder blade away from the body. Left hand is pushing that left shoulder blade towards the midline of the body. So this should really feel like a pretty good opening in the upper thoracic area, the top of the rib cage. Gaze is down. And release, come back to midline, hands on your thighs. And just notice how you feel with that simple twist. See, that's already opening the upper thoracic area, which is going to be our focus today again. I know. We'd like to be as supple as a cat, and that's not likely to happen, but we can be closer to that than we start, and that's the goal. Yeah, we'd like to be that supple, but we're not. Okay, so from here, you're going to bring your arms overhead, and we're going to do that side stretch again. And notice if there's any difference between when we did it just a few minutes ago. Isn't that interesting? Such simple movements, and that they can really help us feel better. People have all different goals for yoga. My goal for yoga is that the body feels more mobile, more useful, more fun to inhabit. So often we find ourselves really stiff. I flew back from California yesterday. I was on the red eye, so I'm trying to sleep sitting up, and that creates a lot of tension in the body. And so today's practice is designed to alleviate some of that. Okay, so now we're going to do a little different action than we typically do. So arms out in front of you, palms face each other, and then cross your arms and palms face each other but crossed. Okay, so here you're pulling both shoulder blades away from each other, right? And now bend your arms so that the palms are still facing each other, but they're up against your breastbone. And notice that that also helps open between the two shoulder blades. And now we're going to move back and forth between these two actions. Palms together away from the body, palms together towards the body. Isn't that interesting? And this action, as you may have already realized, is not an action that we do very often. And what that means is these muscles are going to get tired more quickly because they're not accustomed to this action. So we're not going to stay here. All right, extend the arms again. Notice which arm is on top. So my left arm is on top. And now you're going to switch it. And this will feel weird because you always do the easy one first. Same action. Isn't that interesting? Joyful says, what is that? And now release your hands. Place your hands on your thighs and just wiggle your shoulders around. Let those muscles recover for a little bit. Isn't that interesting? Just because it's a slightly unfamiliar movement. Okay, now we're going to do another one for the upper thoracic. So we're going to come into eagle arms in two different ways. So first, arms out to the side, palms face down. And you're going to rapidly come hug yourself. Okay? So each hand goes to the opposite shoulder blade. And you can move the shoulder girdle up and down. And that, again, helps release the shoulder blades away from each other. And notice which arm is on top. Release the arms out to the side. And then do it the other way. And if I don't specify, you're going to do the easy one first. You're going to do the one your body says, oh, that's what's comfortable. And what that means is this one is going to feel weird. That's okay. Live with that. And then release, arms out to the side, and we'll do a standard eagle pose. So the arms want to cross above the elbows. Now, if your arms don't do that, you can stay with what we just did. So here I'm going to rapidly cross my arms and the palms come together. This is eagle pose, Garudasana arms. And this is called Garudasana because your gaze is split like a bird. So your arms are in front of your eyes, so you see a left side and a right side, but they don't coordinate as well when you've got your arms up in front of you. Notice which arm is on top. Release, arms out to the side, palms face down, and cross the other way. And again, moving the hands up and down. And then release, let your hands come on your thighs, wiggle your shoulders around, and notice how you feel. So I've got some snap, crackle, pop happening in my upper body, in my upper thoracic area, and that's a good thing because everything was kind of stuck. That was why I wanted to do this practice, was to get unstuck. All right, so now we're going to move the cat. Place your hands on the mat in front of you, bother the cat, and come forward any amount. And if the limiting factor is your hips, you may need to be back a little bit farther. What I'm looking for is a shoulder stretch here. So shoulder blades coming down, so the tips of your shoulder blades are coming together. The action is of pulling your hands towards you, and that helps increase your ability to pull your shoulder blades together. So this is an action. There's a lot of action happening here. I'm actively pulling my shoulder blades down away from my ears and together towards each other. And then release that action. Walk your hands back, come up, and notice how you feel. See, these are all fairly simple movements, but they're movements that we don't tend to remember to do. So here's an option that you can remember to do them. All right, so now we're going to come to hands and knees. Straighten my mat because somebody wiggled it around. Somebody who sheds orange hair would be you. So coming to hands and knees. And from here, elbow pits face forward. And we're going to do shoulder push-ups. So for shoulder push-ups, the elbows stay pretty straight. And you're just dropping the rib cage between your shoulder blades and then pushing the rib cage away. So the action all happens in the upper back. It's not push-ups with your arms. It's just moving your shoulders. And you actually can have a fair amount of mobility here. And typically we forget. We forget that this action is available. And I do this fairly often, so the amount of range that I'm demonstrating may not be what's happening in your body, and that's fine. Isn't that interesting? All right, now come to a neutral position, and we're going to look at cat and cow. So for cow, looking up, pulling your hands towards you. They don't actually move, but there's an action of pulling. And then exhale into cat. The back rounds upward, pushing your hands away. Inhale to cow, looking up, dropping the belly, bringing the belly up into cat. And finding your own breath. So it's an inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Following your own breath. I know. Coming back to a neutral spine, and we'll look at tiger pose. So for tiger pose, right leg extends, find your balance, and then the left arm extends. Gaze is forward, finding your balance. And notice that here we're looking at strength in the upper thoracic area. So the left shoulder has to hold that whole arm, and the right shoulder has to hold your body. And the left hand has to pet the cat. It's very important. And then release that. So grounding the right knee, left leg extends. Find your balance, right arm extends. Because we're looking at mobility in the upper thoracic, but there is strength involved also. Coming back to neutral, repeating the first side. Right leg extends, left arm extends. Petting the cat, very important. Release that side, Left leg extends, find your balance. Right arm extends, pet the cat. And release that. So the arms and legs stay where they are. We're going to come into puppy pose. So bending the thighs back, not all the way down to your heels, but notice that here you're extending the shoulder girdle again. So it's an opening to the armpit side of the shoulder. Your forehead reaches down towards the mat. Puppy pose. And now coming forward, allowing the belly to drop down towards the mat. Gaze is upward, pulling the shoulder blades down towards your waist, looking up. So this is a modified up dog. And then pressing back to puppy pose again. Elbows are off the mat. Elbow pits face forward. And coming up into our upward dog variation. Pulling the hands towards you. Shoulder blades come together. And then pressing back to puppy pose. And then into our up dog variation. Belly comes down towards the mat, shoulder blades together, pulling down away from your ears. And then press back. And we come to standing. I'm going to move my little mat away, a little pad. So we come to standing, and this is an action that comes from Kundalini. So feet are a little bit wider than hip width apart. And we're going to bend over so your fingertips can touch the mat. And this is not about how much forward bend you can get, but coming down so your fingertips touch the mat. And the action is folding your knees and straightening as much as you like. But going back and forth with as much fold as you like and as much straightening the legs as you like. Exhale as you come down, inhale as you go up. And release, come back to standing, feet come together, wiggle your shoulders around. That's supposed to bring up energy, okay? So Kundalini Yoga, the style of Kundalini Yoga, increases the energy in the body. And that's a fairly simple Kundalini Kriya is what it's called, rather than a static pose, Kundalini uses movement. So that's one of the movements of Kundalini. So from here, we're going to come back down to hands and knees again. Now that we've got our energy moving. So I'm putting my foam pad back down for my knees. We have some more upper thoracic stuff to do. So palms a little bit farther forward than for table pose. I'm going to take my left hand, palm up, thread it underneath that arm, and bring my shoulder down to the mat, using the right arm to help increase an upper thoracic twist. press up. Thread the needle the other way. And press up. And now we're going to repeat both sides. Left hand under the right arm. And notice if there's any more twist available the second time around. And press up. Other side. And press up. And now we come to standing one more time. And we're going to do an upper thoracic twist from chair pose. So hands come together at the heart center. Feet are close together but not touching. Bend the knees any amount. And then you're going to twist over so that left elbow goes onto the right thigh. So this twist should be mostly in the upper thoracic area. And come up, other side. Come up, all the way up, wiggle around a little bit. Okay, now we've got a couple more twists that we're going to do on the mat. And I'm going to go sideways so it's easier for you to see. So coming down onto your back. And we'll just rest here and notice how your upper back feels. So you can rest with your palms facing up. So we're going to do a twist, a belly rolling pose, in two different ways. So way one, you're going to bring your feet up, knees are together, arms out to the side, palms face down. Let the knees fall to the right, but not all the way down, looking to the left. You'd like to keep both shoulders on the mat. And again, this is primarily upper thoracic rather than lumbar. Inhale, the knees come up. Exhale, knees go to the left, looking to the right. Grounding through that right shoulder. Inhale up, exhale, knees fall to the right, looking to the left. Inhale up, knees fall to the left, looking to the right. Inhale back to center. Okay, so that would be the standard way to do that pose. And now we're going to do it in a little different way. So rolling all the way over onto your left side, bothering the cat. Palms are clipped together, so you're flat on the side. Now, the legs are going to stay where they are, and you're going to open that right arm up and over. Well, probably won't go all the way to the mat, and that's fine. But notice how this is even more in the upper back area. Really opening the collarbone, the front of the armpit. That right shoulder blade comes towards the back, towards the midline of the body. And then close like a clamshell. And we stay on this side and repeat. So knees stay stacked as much as possible. And that helps protect the low back. And then folding back up. Now you can roll onto your other side. I'm going to turn around so I'm not facing, so I'm still facing you. You can do it whichever side you're on, that's fine. So now I'm going to lie on my right side. Arms are straight out. Knees are together, palms together. And then opening up and out. Close back up. And open. You close back up. And rest there for a moment. All right, so now you're going to come all the way, roll all the way onto your back. The cat in your face, palms face down, feet are a little bit apart. Pull your shoulder blades underneath you, and then press up into bridge pose. And notice how much your upper thoracic area is involved in bridge pose. Setubandha Sarvangasana. So really pulling the shoulder blades together, pressing the upper arms down into your mat, letting your upper body be very involved in this pose. Neck should not be involved. The neck should be free. And then rest all the way down. Enjoy being flat. And then back up into bridge pose. Setubandha Sarvangasana. Pulling the shoulder blades together, pressing the upper arms into your mat. And then come all the way down, pull your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your knees and roll from side to side. Release your knees. Let your feet come down to the mat, mat width apart, arms out to the side, palms face up. Bothering the cat yet again. And let both knees fall to the right, looking to the left. And notice how much your upper thoracic area is involved in this also. So grounding both shoulder blades. Gaze is off to the left. Inhale the knees up. Exhale, knees fall to the left, looking to the right, grounding that right shoulder. Inhale the knees up. Exhale, knees fall to the right, looking to the left. Inhale the knees up. Exhale, knees fall to the left, looking to the right, grounding that right shoulder. Inhale the knees up. Let your legs stretch straight on the mat. I'm going to sit up, and you can set up for Shavasana. So pull each shoulder blade underneath your body so your palms face up. Allow your upper arms to be heavy. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Allow your breathing to return to normal. Let your brain rest in the back of the skull. Eyes are soft. Eyes rest in the bottom of the socket. Facial features are soft. Breath is easy. Allow your tongue to rest in the bottom of your mouth. Jaw slightly parted. Back of the neck is long. Throat is open. Notice your shoulder blades flat on the mat. And notice the feeling between your shoulder blades. You looked at upper thoracic openings today. And that area may find a little extra warmth, a little more extra mobility. Collarbones are long, wide. Feel your rib cage moving on the mat with your breath. Your sternum rises and falls with the breath. Belly is soft. Allow your organs to rest towards your back body. Lower back is long and wide. Feel your sacrum resting flat on the mat. Allow the wings of your pelvis to open. Hips are soft. Thighs are heavy. Feet are relaxed. And return to the sensation of the upper thoracic area, your upper rib cage. Noticing how that feels right now as we complete our practice. Arms are heavy, fingers slightly curled. Notice how your whole body feels as a result of your practice today. And returning to the sensation of the breath, allowing the breath to nourish your entire body, bringing prana into your body, and now we look at a box breath, a counted breath. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and return to normal breath. Being very aware of the movement of your ribs with the breath, allowing that movement to occur, feeling your belly rise and fall to initiate the breath, allowing your entire body to be heavy and supported by the mat, supported by the floor, supported by the earth. Being very aware of what's available to you today. Just noticing any changes in your body. And now begin to take deeper breaths. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll over onto your right side and rest there. Press yourself up to seated. Bring your hands to heart center. Bow your head to your heart. I honor the place within you where the entire universe exists. I honor the place within you of peace, of joy, of light, and of love. I honor the place within you where, if you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, there can be only one of us. Namaste. Rub your palms together to generate warmth. Place your palms over your closed eyes. Open your eyes into the darkness and return your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. I'm so glad you came. I hope this was helpful for you. Drink lots of water today. When we mobilize areas that get stuck, it helps to release a lot of stuff from the tissues. And you want to drink a lot of water to help flush that out. Thank you so much for joining me. Please let me know how this practice impacted you today. I'm so glad you came to share your mat with me. Thanks so much.